this week with Deadline. Co-CEO of Netflix, Ted Sarandos, said, listen, this is a huge worldwide company. We have a giant audience, and you're not going to please all of the people all of the time. But critics say this goes beyond that. Members of the transgender community, including parents of transgender kids, say real harm was caused by Dave Chappelle's comments in his new special, The Closer, and they'd like to see a disclaimer, among other things, placed in front of that content. Lives matter. For the crowd gathered outside of Netflix's offices on Wednesday, Dave Chappelle's latest comedy special is no laughing matter.
You're laughing in the face of our pain.
Employees of the streaming platform were joined by activists as they walked out in protest, not only over what critics call transphobic remarks made by the comedian,
Remember, I'm not saying it to be mean,
but also the response to their concerns by Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos. In a memo to staff on Monday, he reportedly stated his belief that the contents of The Closer does not directly translate to real-world harm. Bridget, whose daughter is transgender, disagrees.
When you say gender is real, you are reinforcing a belief system that harms our children deeply, deeply.
She says she supports any comedian's right to free speech, but for her, there's a line, and Chappelle crossed it.
It's negating the experience that our kids have about who they actually are.
But is there actually a line? And does comedy have a responsibility not to cross it? On Wednesday, Netflix released a statement saying the company understands, quote, the deep hurt that's been caused to their trans colleagues and recognized, quote, we have much more work to do, both within Netflix and in our content. Gloria hopes they follow through so that this moment won't have been in vain.
So I think it's an opportunity for places like Netflix and others to bring those trans voices to the forefront, to bring those LGBT voices.
And not just among entertainers and executives. Bridget and Tracy Tragos, another mother of a trans child, say there's a whole community ready to be included in the conversation.
Learn from parents, learn from trans people themselves.
If Dave Chappelle could just spend a little bit of time with their kids, he might know how cool they are and how great they are and how he might value their self-worth a little more and find a little less to mock about them.
Just as laughter can have the power to harm, it also has the power to heal. And in addition to placing a warning label in front of the Dave Chappelle special, they also had a list of demands for Netflix. Organizers of yesterday's rally want to see more content from LGBTQ creators on the platform. They want to see LGBTQ creators, creative talent fostered by the network, and they also want to see a trans executive placed in a leadership role. They say this is a conversation that is only just beginning.